Hello everyone. Today's topic is circulatory system. Circulatory system is responsible for transporting materials throughout the entire body. It transports nutrient, water, oxygen to your billions of blood cells and carries away waste such as carbon dioxide that body cells produce. Next, components of the blood circulatory system: heart, blood, and blood vessels. In that, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Next, the circulatory system carries two types of blood. Oxygen rich blood, in that blood travels through the body cells. It has a high oxygen content, low carbon dioxide content. Second is oxygen poor blood. Blood travel away from the blood cells, low oxygen content and high carbon dioxide. And the heart is the organ at the center of the circulatory system. It pumps blood around the body. The inside of the heart, it is divided into two sections, so that the two types of blood, oxygen rich and oxygen poor, are kept apart. Right side of the heart carries oxygen poor blood and left side of the heart carries oxygen rich blood. And heart is composed of pericardium. In that, first type of pericardium is a visceral pericardium. It is the innermost layer and directly on the heart. Next is a parietal pericardium, layer on top of visceral pericardium. Wall of heart composed. There are three types of heart walls: epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Epicardium is outermost layer and fat to cushion heart. And the second is myocardium, it is middle layer and primary cardiac muscles. Endocardium is the innermost layer, thin and smooth. Myocardium, the muscles of the heart, it is main muscles of the heart and strong and thick, composed of spontaneously contacting cardiac muscles fibers, can conduct electricity like nerves. Its blood supply comes from the coronary arteries. There are four chambers of heart: two atria and two ventricles. Atria are upper chambers, left and right two, and separated by interarterial septum. The two ventricles are lower chambers, left and right, separated by introventricular septum. The right and left side of the heart are separated by the septum or wall. The septum prevents the mixing of oxygen-rich and oxygen-poor blood. In each side of the septum are two chambers. Upper chamber is the atrium and lower chamber is the ventricle. The arteria collect blood that enters the heart and the ventricle pump blood out of the heart. Then the valve between the artery and ventricles are connected to intervalls and of the heart by tough tendons. The tendons allow the valve to close and hold the valve flap in place. They prevent the valve from flipping up and turning inside and out. How does the heart pump the blood? All the parts of the organ on either side work together in the repeated sequence. The two arteria contract and relax, and then the two ventricles are contract and relax. This is how blood moves through the heart and pump to the lungs and body. One completed of contraction and relaxation is called heartbeat. Second part of the circulatory system is blood vessels. As the blood moves through the circulatory system, it moves through three types of blood vessels: arteries, capillaries, and veins. Arteries carries the blood away from the heart, capillaries link arterioles to veins, and veins carry blood towards the heart. First, arteria are large vesicles, carry blood from the heart to the tissue of the body and carry oxygen-rich blood with the exception of pulmonary arteries. And the capillaries are smallest blood vessels, walls are only and smallest blood vessels and walls are only 1 cell thick and very narrow and important for bringing nutrients, oxygen to the tissue and absorbing CO2 and other waste product. Veins blood, once the blood has passed through the capillary system, it must be returned to the heart done by veins, and walls contain connective tissue and smooth muscles, and large veins contain one-way valves that keep blood flowing towards the heart. A third part of the circulatory system is blood. Blood is composed of plasma and blood cells. Types of cells are RBC, WBC, and platelets. And second, plasma are straw color, 90% of water, and 10% of dissolved gases, salt, nutrients, enzymes, hormones, waste, and proteins. A function of the blood is transport, protection, temperature regulation. There are some illness or diseases in circulatory system. First is arrhythmia, and it is a irregular or abnormal heartbeat. Some begin in the upper chamber of heart. This is also called as supravena cava arrhythmias. And arterial fibrillation is the most common type. Second is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the building up of a plaque in your arteries. Over time, the plaque narrows your arteries and makes it harder for blood to flow through. And the plaque is also dangerous because it can rupture and trigger the blood clot. Third is a blood pressure, and blood pressure is a number that shows the forcefully blood flows through your blood vessels. Your blood vessels normally changes during the day and adjust to you at activity level, but the blood pressure that too high or too low can be dangerous. Blood pressure conditions include hypertension. The cardiomyopathy. It is a group of conditions that affect your heart muscles, leading to weakness, heart speed. These conditions harm your heart ability to pump blood. Next, so this is all about the circulatory system. Thank you so much.